Runeterra, Tower of Doom, Final Fight,
Final Fight.
Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Like in the arcade?
Yeah, in the arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s, so it's pretty much like the fun thing. Like, NES and all was good. Like, I had Atari before NES came out, but like, arcade was just such a higher level.
Yeah.
But I used to
Arcade
play.
was social too.
Oh man, it was fun. Like, it was always the same crowd, so like you knew the guys like that played arcade. It's kind of a culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It was. I really miss it actually. And where I grew up, we had a couple of cool arcades, but there was one that was down on the beach, and it was like an open air, kind of like the bottom of a tall building, and all the walls were like garage doors. So people are coming in and out in their swimsuits and whatnot. That was a really cool arcade.
I think the best one was my dad had a store in a beach town. So like not too far from the beach. So like every night during the summer, we would go to the arcade. Like huge. It was just like you said, like just garage doors, like open.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
And then you burn through quarters, and quarters were worth a lot at that point.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, like the amount of money was pretty much my allowance would go on that,
Yeah.
But for my parents was like, leave the kids in the arcade. I'm gonna go eat something with your mom. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's forget they exist.
I think the one that I remember the most. I mean, I remember Mortal Kombat 2. I remember Street Fighter, but the one that I fed the most money was Killer Instinct, and we like trained for Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct was awesome, and the most because no, Killer Instinct I liked, but what was that? That was kind of like trying to copy Street Fighter, but you had, I feel like the first fatalities. But you would do in the middle of the game sometimes, like
Was it Time Killers?
Time Killers.
Yeah, where you could cut the dude's arm off.
Time Killers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a wild one.
Oh my God. Yeah, I used to play with the Viper, the snake creature, and like just use the song.
If that's on GOG or something, can you still download it?
Well, I got for my emulator.
Oh, you've got it on an emulator? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you said you built that controller? Your arcade
I built the
controller?
I got the, I think it's Samoa parts. Same ones they use on Capcom cabinets. So I ordered them all, drilled holes in my desk.
Oh, wow.
It was a pretty nice sized desk. So like the right side. And the good thing is like, because I didn't buy already made, so I could space out the stick to the buttons to where it's very comfortable for me instead of try to play close. So yeah,
ergonomic.
You gotta play smart,
Is this like a hobby of yours, like working on old cabinets and all that?
Not exactly. Like I always liked arcades. Always, I built before, but sorry, it's gone now. But I wanted to make like a more, I do my work on one side, and I can even like stream games, arcade games. So what I did too was I got this computer arm.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm working, I can flip in this side, but if I want to play, I can flip in front of the controller.
Yeah. Okay, where you mounted it.
Yeah, and I have my gaming laptop, and that's where I would play, and I have the Mac where I do work. So
nice. Yeah. Now, are you a full-time content creator, or do you have like a regular job as well?
So I'm military retired. So, but I live in New York, so it's expensive. So I've been doing a lot of freelance on insurance inventory.
Okay.
So like when people lose stuff, I go make the list, send to the insurance, You know what I mean? And then people get paid. So I'm the good part of the insurance, not the bad
There
one.
you go. I'm an insurance good guy.
Yeah, I make sure you make money.
Hey, you party people, it's Ned Crash, and today on the show we've got Broken Not Dead. Thanks for joining, man.
Hey, nice to be here, man.
Who is apparently the good guy in the insurance game. So I was not expecting that part. But yeah, man. So your content is interesting. In my mind, I've kind of got you and Ramsey in a little bit of a category over here, and that category is like in the United States, but running a channel for maybe a different language or a different country worth of digesting the content, but also doing an English channel. So it's really interesting. So you're doing an English channel and a Portuguese channel, is that right? Brazilian Portuguese?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I decided to start a little over a month ago a channel in Portuguese. I had a lot of people that asked me because I speak the language. I don't use the language much, so it's actually funny. Some people start interacting because of that, because I usually say like, hey, by the way, correct me, whatever I say that sounds outlandish. You know what I mean? I'll say some crazy stuff, and then because I have to change the language to Portuguese on raids, for example.
Yeah.
And some stuff is so different than the English translation. So I'm like, yep, gonna sound crazy, but people, it's nice. People interact. People think it's funny. You know, you change knowledge. You see how different people play in Brazil compared to in the U.S., like the mindset of the game and everything. So it's really good, and I want to bring Godforge to them as well. I know we have a couple of Portuguese channels that plan to be talking about Godforge, but you know what I mean? It's kind of different. I don't think gacha games are that big in Brazil because economics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's fun.
On the one hand, you know, you would have the free-to-play aspect would make a lot of games popular in a lot of countries, I would think. But on the other hand, yeah, the ability to just throw money at digital content is
Yeah, a lot of people in Brazil, they like the free-to-play more because, you know, I know there's some economics difference, like that's why a lot of people used to spoof their location, right? But it's still expensive. What are we making here in the United States and in Europe? It looks leaps and bounds compared to what people make in Brazil in a regular job. So,
yeah. I feel like I remember hearing, though, and this has been years ago now, back when I was digesting a lot of raid content, that like one of the big whales was Brazilian, if not like the biggest. Like somebody that was in that kind of top 5 spend and PvP category was either in Brazil or the pilot of the account was in Brazil, one of the two.
well, so here's the thing. Brazil for decades kind of lost middle class. Brazil actually, I think the amount of people make in general, Brazil is like the 6th country with the highest like grossing, you know, amount of dollars. But you have people that are extremely rich. They can buy a small country. And then you have people that can barely afford a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what's your story in terms of, you said you haven't been speaking a lot of Portuguese. Have you been in New York for a while now?
Well, I've been in the U.S. since 1998. Been in New York mostly, besides my time in the military. So I don't get to speak. It's not like we have a lot of Brazilians in here, but I'm a very like United Nations guy. I know people from whatever they are. Like if I meet a Brazilian guy, like I have a couple of Brazilian friends, but I don't use as much. Let me put it like this. You know those words that you don't use as much, even in English, and like you can't remember because it's something you use once or twice? That's the same thing in Portuguese. But because I use even less, you know, I get a little lost. But people help. People help, you know, in the chat and everything.
it gives you a chance to kind of practice too, right?
It's true because I don't think I have a heavy accent in Portuguese, but people do let me know I have a heavy accent. So
Like an American accent on Portuguese
yeah,
now, or oh, okay,
it's
not
like
even like the region that you came from.
no. My Portuguese is rough, but it's understandable. It's not like bad Portuguese. Just I sound like a Brazilian speaking to an American in English. But that haven't been here for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What region were you from in Brazil?
I'm from the imperial city of Petrópolis, Rio de Janeiro.
Metropolis. Oh, Rio de Janeiro. Okay.
Well, but the
Yeah.
city is Petrópolis. The state is Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like I'm better on Brazil than most people in the United States, but I've never been, and I'm not an expert. But the reason that I say that is because I played capoeira for like 3 years,
Oh, nice.
and I learned a bunch of the songs and learned a lot about Bahia. And then for a long time, I was trying to plan a trip to go down there and see a bunch of stuff, but also go to Iguazu. Like Iguazu is on my kind of tier list of trips that I want to take, right in the top 3 there.
So I went after I retired from the military a few years back. I actually went to Brazil, spent some time with my parents. It was right before COVID, so
Oh, nice.
my plan to go for like a year became 2 years because
Oh.
COVID. I was
Got
like, well,
stuck.
why am I going to go? Well, I could come back, but I was like, why? Like, nothing's happening there. So I was
Yeah.
like, let me stay here with my parents. So I drove to Iguazu Falls,
Cool.
and
Cool.
beautiful. I had been one time before, but like just beautiful.
It's the most alien looking. Every picture I look at it like waterfall in the world. It just keeps going and it twists and it. Have you gone to both sides of it? Like, have you gone over to the
Argentina?
Argentina side?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Uruguay has also like a piece,
a
but
little
it's
piece
smaller.
of it. Yeah, it's like right there in that corner.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They actually, when they're in that river, it was actually Iguazu Falls.
Oh, okay.
They said that was in the Amazon, but no, they filmed in Iguazu Falls. Yeah,
Yeah. Did they film the whole thing down there?
a lot of it. You have a
wow.
big jungle down there too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I also have been drawn to jungles in my life. I think it's because, like, one of my favorite movies, if not just flat out my favorite movie, is Predator, like the original Predator.
yep.
And that jungle that they're in the whole time, just so, like, picturesque.
It is. Jungles are fun, but you have to go with someone that knows where they are.
Yeah, especially down there.
Yeah, because you're gonna have those tour guides. Like, saw a lot of documentaries. People went with a tour guide that didn't really know the forest, and people end up lost. So, in almost Amazon, like some of the other ones, you have more like southeast and all. You have a lot of cities like right off the jungle. So if you get lost, you're gonna be found. It's not, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, Amazon, you're done.
It's such a big area. I don't think people realize how big Brazil is. It's almost the same amount of landmass as the United States. I think
Yeah,
it's
if you
more
take
if you
off
don't
Alaska.
count Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you take off Alaska, it's about the same or maybe a little bigger, but like not by much either.
Yeah, yeah. So when did you said you came in the 90s, and then you mentioned the military. Was that in the U.S.?
Yeah,
Served in the U.S. military? Well, thank you.
served. I did about 10 years. They retired me because back issues, knee issues, PTSD. So that's one of the reasons why the channel is BrokenNotDead.
Yeah.
It's because so one thing people call a lot when you're injured and everything, they say you're broken in the military.
Okay.
So one guy was like, oh, broken sergeant. So I grabbed him, I put him at the wall, like, I'm broken, not dead. And months later, I decided to call the channel Broken Not Dead.
Nice. The in your blurb about the channel, you mentioned doing like a 50-mile hike for a nonprofit.
Yeah. So last year in May, because May is Suicide Awareness Month, Stop Soldier Suicide is a foundation. I was talking to them. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do in one day, because usually people do a couple of miles here, a couple of miles there. And I was like, I'll do in one day to try to bring more awareness. And so they contact me directly, and they're like, can we contact the news? Because 50 miles in one day, carrying 35 pounds in your back, not many people. I mean, even the military, we don't do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What is that, a 15-minute mile? It's pretty fast. It's a pretty fast pace.
Yeah, we do, like, I think it's, a 20-miler is, like, probably the highest distance we usually do. But it's, like, once a year. It's, like, a big thing. So 50, I couldn't walk for a week. But
you did it.
But I did it. I
Wow.
went from Central Park all the way to Westpoint Academy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
got
really
picked
cool.
up by the news. They actually did a whole section, so it was like 2 minutes and something. But it was fun and helped. Actually, Ash, because I posted him, like he always looks for when he opens shards for like every legendary to donate. I actually posted, and he actually did a shard opening and donated to the foundation as well. So it was
Oh,
pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
That's really cool. 50 miles in one day with 35 pounds. I'm trying to think of all the times I went backpacking. I feel like the most I got in one day was like 20 miles. And
Yeah,
that was anywhere from 30 to 60 pounds. And that was brutal.
Yeah. Like by the end, at a certain point at the end, I didn't want to stop anymore.
Yeah.
I did not take my pack down, put down, because my muscles were torn already. So every time they cooled down, I literally got up like an old man, could barely walk until they warmed up. So I pretty much stopped stopping.
Yeah, you couldn't take breaks because it would like permanently
Was
stop.
worse. Like the pain was worse.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Do
but
you
I got
do-
in.
Do you do a lot of stuff like that? Do you do a lot of like sort of challenges and adventure events?
I love to do. Like, I'm the kind of guy, if there's a chance, there's something that matters to me, and it doesn't have to do with just veterans. It can be, I would join. You know what I mean? I feel sometimes you put like a few hours of your day, and it may help a lot of people. So, yeah, I'm always happy to try to help. I don't think I would do a 50-miler the way I did, mostly because I forgot that upstate is literally up.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going up the whole time. Maybe the other way around, but also some of the areas, because construction, you had no shoulder and like really small roads. So I would do in a different location. You know what I mean? That was, I had finished, let me put it like this. In the most, when I got to certain areas, I was like, no, I'm almost there. Wasn't almost, but almost there. So I would be more careful picking up at least the location,
And then the obvious joke there is when you finished, you were broken but not dead.
Oh, no, I was happy. So someone from Westpoint was coming out doing a rock, and he goes like, hey, man, where are you rocking from? I'm like, from Central Park. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. What are you doing now? I'm like, well, I have to walk back. He thought I was serious. I was like, no. Take the train, take the cab. I went actually to Sleepy Hollow and spent the night in Sleepy Hollow. Like, I need a break.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, man. I haven't spent a ton of time in New York. I had to look up how, like, well, obviously Westpoint being 50 miles, but I kind of had to look up, like, where it was. I've been on, Manhattan a couple of times, but I get, like, claustrophobic in big cities, especially on the island there, because if all I can see is steel and concrete, it's like my mind goes, you have to find some nature, like go find the nature. So whenever I have to go, I try to stay on the edge of Central Park so that I can see the park, or in a place where I can see the water, right? Because then it's like I don't. But then if I'm walking down to one of those buildings for like a meeting, I'm just like, oh, how do people do this?
I actually, I remember the day I arrived in New York, and I swear, like, I looked up and like everything just looked so, like I said, claustrophobic. Like, nowadays I don't feel like that. You don't even, you know what it is, like you get used to. Like some people never do. Some people, it's like New York, you love it or you hate. Like there's no between. You know what I mean? Like you can't just, I deal with. Yeah. That's the kind of place that it's, you're very happy with, or you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna work for a while in here and get the hell out, go to Pennsylvania, go to whatever place. You know.
Do you love it? Are you one of those people?
Well, I came back. I pay I pay rent that I could be leaving the mansion in Brazil. So yeah, I do.
Yeah, what are some of the things that you like about New York, and then what are some of the things that you miss about Brazil, or maybe even specifically Rio?
I do miss going to the beach a lot more. Because I didn't like the beach in Rio, but they had a place, Cabo Frio. I used to go in there. Beautiful beaches, no sharks, just perfect place to surf. I used to love surfing, so yeah, I spent some time there. But I feel like even when I was in the service, the biggest thing I missed in New York was, if I want any type of food from anywhere in the world, I can walk 2 blocks and I'll find it. I go different directions, I'll eat different foods. So like, it's very nice. And the most, like when I was by Savannah, in Fort Stewart, very small options, even upstate, options are not that big. Products, because I love cooking. Some stuff you don't find in the markets outside New York. Well, you find, but it's not as easy,
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. There's a few people that I've talked to from New York, and they all talk about, I can just go get any food I want in walking distance. Yeah.
And it's not as expensive as people think, because, like, I live in Astoria, Queens, and it's so ethnic, and it's considered the last neighborhood of New York City.
Why is that?
It's a kind of place you walk the streets and you say hi to a bunch of people. Just walking a few blocks, kind of your neighbors. Most New York, I don't know, it's, people are just there. It used to be more neighborhoods, but people keep moving in and out. This area is like a lot of families lived in here forever. They grew up in here. They got house from their parents, and it's 20 minutes from the city. So, but yeah, food's great, and like a lot of competition because we have a lot of restaurants like side to side, so they can't overcharge. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so it's not like you eat cheap. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, but a lot cheaper than a lot of other places.
I was in Canada the other day, and I thought to myself that because of the strength of the dollar right now, that everything was going to be like super affordable. But it was like exactly the same. I was just paying the same like adjusted dollars, for a burger, a pizza, anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Canada, when I went there, some things are depend where you are becomes expensive too. Because I drove from Savannah all the way to Alaska when I got stationed there.
Oh, that's cool. Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Well, by Hinesville, it's Fort Stewart.
But you
So,
drove to
yeah,
what part of Alaska?
Fort Wainwright, right next to the city of North Pole, where I lived. 5 minutes from Santa's workshop, and I'm not kidding. No, there is a Santa's workshop in there.
Yeah, North Pole. Wow, that's one of my another one of my sort of tier list dream trips is we want to drive to Prudhoe Bay. So there's that
Nice.
road that you can take to Dead Horse that's like it's all jagged rocks. So you kind of have to have the right tires and the right vehicle for it, but it takes forever. I think
Well,
even around that it takes like 30 days.
I drove from Wainwright to the Arctic Circle, like
Oh, cool.
right where you get to the Arctic Circle. Yeah.
With
So
what kind of vehicle did you take?
Mercedes C230,
A C230.
1998.
Oh man, probably not with the right tires.
No, but hey, got in and came back in one
There
piece.
you go.
So,
Maybe it's not as adventurous as I think it is then.
well, no, it is. So one of the things they do when it's summer, right? They wet the road. Like they have trucks actually putting water so they can create mud, so the trucks can actually push up,
Oh,
so they
okay.
get traction. But it's about half a foot of mud. So coming back,
geez.
like going up and come back, I had to can't stop. Coming down, I start sliding, and I was actually glad I had Mercedes because I just let the wheel, and it adjusts itself, so I could get out because you have drops in both sides.
Oh wow.
So if you go, and you have no cell service, so if you go down, you have to hope someone pass by, and it may be hours, a day. Yeah. It's not much like transit in there. Like this area is like end of the world.
Did you
So,
like living in Alaska, or was it too hard?
oh, I chose. I
Yeah.
chose to be stationed there. It was good. Even winters, as long as your skin's covered, you don't feel as bad. I felt more cold in upstate at I think like 10 degrees than I felt minus 40, minus 50 in Alaska. Because it's dry.
Dry. Yeah.
Yeah, upstate with the lake effect and everything, it's so wet. It gets on you. Like it gets on your clothes. You feel wet. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed, the further away from large cities I get, and I was in Juneau not too long ago, and Juneau's, a much easier place to be, I think, than like Anchorage or Fairbanks. But the farther out you get, it's just like the harder it is to accomplish a task. Like you can't certainly you can't get any food you want, but like you may not find the food that you like at all, right?
no.
And it takes weeks to get stuff shipped, and there's no materials available for anything.
A lot of places, at least at the time, shipping, a lot of places would consider as international shipping. They would charge as international.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a problem. I remember when I came back to the low 48, buying fruit. It looked like that was free. I got so disconnected with prices because, let me say, like for orange, you would pay like $5 for a bag of orange. And then I came to the low 48, like $1.99. I was like, is that a sale? People would be like, no, it's expensive now. I'm like, crazy. This thing's like they're giving away.
I
But
thought it
yes,
was funny seeing pineapples in Juneau. I went to like the Costco and they had a big thing of pineapples, and I was like, how do you get pineapples to the middle of nowhere?
everything gets shipped, man.
Yeah,
Not much stuff grows in there, but salmon.
yeah. Salmon's
Lots
cheap.
of salmon.
So then, let's see. You started your channel, if I'm going by your video dates, around like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah. So I restarted when I was going to Brazil. I actually, I wanted to be kind of like help me with PTSD, like talk about it. You know what I mean? So since I was going to Brazil, I was going to talk about Brazil and everything, but I don't know. It wasn't my thing. So I decided to do what I enjoyed, gaming. So I transitioned to gaming. I used to talk a lot about ReppelZ, what is a JRPG from like 2008 or 9? No, 2006. Yeah. So a game I still played, I stopped just a couple of years back. I was probably one of like 3 people that start the game when it launched.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so fun game, just too time intensive. And after I got out to try to come back, it was just like, hold on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, love gaming. It's but I'll say help me with PTSD because the first videos I did, I would have to cut every couple of seconds because I would start talking and then like lose my train of thought. Like the camera scared me for one thing. Like it,
Interesting.
I felt so disconnected and I would like take breaks and like so. My first videos, a lot of them I took it out, but cut. It was horrible, but you know, help me with confidence, help me with express myself, being on YouTube. So, yeah.
Can you kind of tell a difference in the way that you talk and present on your videos now versus like 5 years ago?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A lot of ways. Like I would lose. I still lose the train of thought sometimes, and I would be like, oh, forgot to mention that, guys. But it's a normal thing. Like I rarely do script. I may have a couple of notes, like remember to talk about this, but you know, before I was just like a mess. Like I would think about what I wanted to say 2 minutes earlier, or like for hours, just thinking about it, and then nothing.
Oh, then you start recording and it's all gone.
It's all gone. Like the camera's staring at me. Like I would judge myself. Am I staring the right way? Am I acting in a certain way? Yeah. But no, now I don't care. I also film school, so
Oh, yeah.
have to be used with cameras.
Are you currently in film school, or you went to film
No,
school?
I went to film school after I came back. What was rough, I should have started before, but getting your high school diploma translated and certified and all that stuff, not that easy. It was sent multiple times, kept like, oh, but it wasn't sent with like a stamp in that precise angle, whatever. And I was like, I'm never going to film school. And I was like, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'll graduate again. So I'm like, I'll take the GED. Yeah, I finished high school, but, you know, got to solve this. I can't just sit and wait. So I booked the GED, and I was like, okay, give myself a couple of months to prep. And then the next day, I'm like, you know what? Hold my beer. I'll do it. And they had one coming up like 2 days later. I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. And I mean, I hadn't been in high school since 94. So, and I passed first try.
Nice.
And then went to Los Angeles Film School, graduated last year. Well, I did online. I feel like going on site for me would have a problem. Too many people with like 5 scarves. I don't know. I can't. Not my thing. It would like, I would be like, And it's 100 degrees. All right. You've been watching a lot of fancy movies. So, decided not to. But it was good because I had tutors in Astoria. Astoria is a big hub for film, TV. I have friends who are producers. I have actors, they're friends. So they kept me honest. They're like, I hate this. I think this is the right way. Is that how you're told to do? No, but there's a reason why you're being taught that way. And you know what? It was good. It was good. So I had that. What I feel, if you don't, you probably don't want to go online. You know.
Did you go that route to help with your content, or are you actually like wanting to get into documentary or fiction or something like that?
I wanted to do documentaries when I started school, and then you kind of, I feel that's the thing. So I still want to do documentaries. I shot, didn't like too much then, so didn't put it out. But I actually like fiction. I actually am planning to start shooting very soon a short series that I already have the scripts for a while, but now I'm like, get off my ass and do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to, like, it's just like me doing the GED. Sometimes you have to like wake up, take care of what you have to. Sitting there won't do anything for you. So I start liking fiction more than documentaries.
Do you have a particular genre that you're drawn to?
Comedy, mostly like the tone deaf comedy, like dark comedy, stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, not kind of like spoof. Like I love Dumb and Dumber and those movies. It's just
right.
I like that more nuance, kind of funny. You
like
know?
a Big Lebowski style of funny.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's timeless too, you know, something that you can nail down, especially if it's not, you know, rooted in the jokes of the day, but it's nuanced, then it becomes timeless.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of jokes you watch on movies, unless you lived at the time, you have no idea what they're talking about. Like it's funny today. Year from now, and the most now with the internet, it's people don't even know what it is. So
yeah, we also have this problem, a theme that's been popping up a lot in the podcast of like AI making things homogenized, and just you know, every sort of phase of entertainment that we live through, it more rapidly becomes saturated with the same thing, if that makes sense. Like you know, 90s horror or 90s comedy spans 8 to 10 years, right? And then when you get into 2000s, it's like the new thing only lasts like 5 years. And then you get into like the teens, it's like 2 years before it's overdone. And now with AI, it's like tomorrow it's overdone. Like content comes out and it's original, and then everybody's copied it within like a week or two.
No, it's true. I feel like any good idea you have, the moment it goes viral, or at least start pushing, someone else will be like, I have to do this. Or people won't acknowledge it exists. You know, you see a lot in channels too. Like how many YouTube channels that, let me say, people played this game for years. New game comes out, people start talking about, they're the first ones to jump in. It doesn't have to be a genre they like.
Oh,
You
for
know what I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
They just like, oh, I have to be in. Like, I guess all right, but it's not you. Like, I never want to not be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, have you been well, so you've had the channel for 6+ years. How long have you been doing Raid?
Uh, say like 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years. Okay.
I start like a few months prior to the Hell Hades 2024.
Okay.
A head start was awesome. I love Simon. Simon, when I started, because I didn't know I was actually on the list. So I messaged and I'm like, so I saw when you post you're showing the list of the content creators. My name's in there. Am I part? I was like, small channel, People don't
For the
care.
website or like the free to play series or what?
Oh, the free to play series.
The free to play series. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes like, well, if you're in the list, you're in. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, and then I start playing more raids. I usually try to do challenges because you realize how many champions you miss in games until
Yeah.
you do a challenge to yourself even sometimes. Because a lot of champs I was like, I hate this guy, and then that's all I had. And then you start like, oh, I love this guy. So I feel any type of game can be Street Fighter. Take that champion, you're like, it's garbage. And then you start playing for a while and you're like, that's a bass. So
Yeah, the free to play things that I've done. Like I think with J Gigs for a little while there, we tried to do rares only. We tried to do a rares only account, and then there was a whole thing where we all tried to do void only. And you really do start to focus on these other champions that otherwise, in the context of like 800 legendaries, you just never touch.
yeah, I'm running void only right now.
Oh, you got a void going on. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like you realize how Vizix, for example, people don't pay attention to her because she comes in so late in the game.
Yeah.
But great champion.
Yeah.
And it's the only legendary I can use right now. So
They're all
she's even
chickens.
more awesome.
Everything else is a chicken.
Everything else a chicken. I'm saving. I'm saving like legendaries and epics. So 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, I may give the account or open the vault and just let the rest flood. But all depends, because a lot of content you can't just do with void, because the amount of champions you have, like some of them you have to use
Oh, yeah.
magic only, stuff like this.
Yeah.
So
You got to do a few of those to get through the missions for sure.
yeah.
So then knew about Godforge pretty early then from Simon announcing Fateless. And then do you have like a relationship with Ash, or was it just kind of the support for
No. I always follow his channel. Was just like when I got contacted to actually do that 50 mile, I was like, well, let me talk about then.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Was just like I'm just a viewer, like related to Ash. You know what I mean? Like
Sure,
I always like what he does in the background. That sometimes don't even talk so much. So yeah.
When Godforge comes out, do you think you'll keep making content for Raid?
I may make maybe once or twice a week, just like important stuff that happens. But yeah, my plan is to focus more on Godforge. I'm not going to kill raids. It just, I feel raid content's getting harder to make, in the sense of more tiresome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel in the Portuguese channel, I've been doing more content because a lot of stuff is new for them. The way we play, I feel it's very different how we play and how a lot of other people play, right? Like,
Yeah, playing for content versus playing for
yeah,
progression or something.
and like teach those guys like my opinion in some champions. So it's been fun. So I don't want to quit. So it's new stuff for me. In the US side, it's just some stuff I don't know. It's become tiresome for me to talk about raid sometimes. You know what I mean? So I think Godforge gonna be great. Probably gonna be running low spender and a free to play account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Basically, to see both sides. You know, show the progression in both ways.
Yeah, same here. I'll be running a free to play, and I'll be running one that I'll probably spend more than I usually do because of content. Trying to get a high variety and some better progression. But I also struggle with kind of like what you were talking about earlier. You know, we've already got like 180, 200 people in this program. I think Raid's got 300 people in their program. And at a certain point, like everybody's making the same video. And the content, you know, if you need to know how to gear, you know, Champion A, there's 10 guides out there. And if you need to know how to get through this level, there's 20 guides. So how do you differentiate from that? Like, how do you do something different? In your case, the Portuguese channel is genius, right? And Ramsey, the French channel. But that paired with what you were saying about how tiresome it is, and like I do have a full-time job, how do I make a video a day? Like much less 2 to 3 videos a day. I have no idea.
No, and like, I'll be honest with you, that was one of the problems I had with Raid is I would, because I had a time I was making everyday videos, right? Because I was with Game Leap. But the thing is, I wouldn't watch Raid content until I put my video out.
You didn't want to be influenced?
I didn't want to be influenced, but you know what? Somehow it looked just like half of the other videos because this dropped. You're talking just like everybody else. You almost end up going through motions because, you know what I mean, like new champion, and then you talk about the new champion. And I feel like I'm not adding anything to the conversation. And that was my problem that's my problem sometimes make raid content. I don't feel I'm giving anything new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's not a genuine excitement, like I'm just putting this video out there because I'm excited about this, even if 20 other people are doing it, then you start to feel like it's a job, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And raid itself feels like a job. So like the game already takes so much of your time, regardless of trying to make content on it.
Oh no, yeah. I run a few accounts, and it's like I've been missing on my main account fusions. Sometimes by one champion because I'm just like don't want to look at the game, and then I don't realize I just missed the whole event. So
missed the deadline. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting to where I don't care when I miss.
Yeah.
I get more excited about the free-to-plays, like early free-to-play, than actually my main account. My main account, I pretty much just run what I have to run every day.
Yeah, and for anybody who's still playing Raid, don't worry if you miss a fusion, because you're just going to pull that champ anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's true.
Like a 50 to 70% pull rate on fusion champs. I don't know what the deal is in that game.
Oh my god. But that's the thing, Godforge, most people, 90% of the people, gonna have the same amount of experience.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever you say, it's new. Because, like, me going with Grandel, I chose Grandel with Lady of the Lake imprint and Fireforge. Forge Fire.
I didn't realize you were talking about the quests game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
because the way they work together, it may be an exploit.
Yeah, tell me more.
So, but it's a champion that everybody's putting like low on tiers. But the way Forge Fire works and the imprint and his specials
Gets the extra turn.
gets the extra turn. So since he doesn't need to take a turn, like he can't die until he takes the turn. My plan is to build him slow, extremely heavy hitter, and just use Late of the Lake, Forge Fire, and his special to just kill. Gets an extra turn, kill, and just keep pushing.
Yeah, that's I kind of forgot about the concept of using an imprint to do a job that you would normally need a champion to do. So like on a team of 4, if it would have, you know, in raid for instance, taken a champion to ensure he survives the first round, you don't have that problem because you can accomplish it with the imprint.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, the comps are gonna be really interesting. I think the first year of content is gonna be fascinating.
Yeah.
Because the game's gonna play different and everybody's gonna be finding their niche. But I do hope after a year that it doesn't just sort of become the same thing and everybody making the same video, you know.
I think in the first couple of years at least, I think gonna be so much stuff evolving in the game. And I think that's what happened to Raid is at this point, even when they change stuff, it's not a major change. Like I know we have the Argonauts now, but it's just a new faction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that's all that is. It's not like that special. What they're gonna do with maybe later on, but as of right now, they're just filling up slots. So it's cool, but it's that excitement that you have for a day, and then it drops off after. You know.
You made a video fairly recently talking about how Raid Shadow Legends is kind of on the way out at the moment. Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends is dying. Here's why. This was a few weeks ago.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. So, and they hated that I did that. I actually got a message on Discord. And I'm not even part of their content creation. But they're
You're
like,
not part of the program, and they tried to
they're
talk like
well, we don't want to. We're gonna take you from the Discord if you keep talking about. But it has to do with starter accounts. Like accounts that people bought for like years, just log in, grab the stuff, log in, grab the stuff, and people pay $10 to get an account over 200 something days with like 50,000 energy, hundreds of shards, and they all pay $10. And that's why if you go to Arena, like Bronze Arena, you see accounts with like all legendaries, like legendaries from past fusions. But you know there's something wrong when Rhonda is level 50. And Rhonda was like years ago, like 3 years ago.
yeah.
So all those accounts are like bot accounts. So if you're starting by yourself, right, you can't move up. Like, it's actually, because a lot of those people don't even know how to play the game well, they get stuck up to like 1 gold, maybe 2 gold, but the account's not old enough, they don't have enough stuff to actually move up, but they stop people from progressing. You know what I mean? And that's why I was saying, like, I mean, you want to buy an account, but it's so many. Like I found on those sites, it's thousands of accounts for like $10. So, and actually, what I think one of the videos was me portraying I paid $11, and I used the calculator, the Hell Hades calculator for the items, and it was $1,100 worth of stuff. So, like, you know, do you pay 11 or 1,100 plus, like those how they call the, you have the veteran, you have the, like, the progression that you can buy on the shop. It's garbage. $49
Yeah,
for,
there's no value there.
there's no value, and they don't change. They don't try to, like, put new stuff to excite people to buy those. So the shop is like old, in a sense. A lot of stuff.
So was it that like Plarium wasn't mad that you said that the game is dying? They're mad that you were talking about buying accounts. Yeah.
And my point is, like, they need to stop. But because I showed that you can buy accounts, they're not happy. So,
I mean, it's like that dirty secret. Everybody knows about it. It's just like buying gold in WoW. Everybody knows you can do it. You know, you take a risk. You always take a risk on a black market. But, like, you know, why pretend it doesn't exist? You know, when it's become a part of the economy in both situations, right?
Yeah, and like I talked to some people that actually bought accounts for years. They have accounts like years old that they bought, and they're saying they spend money in the game. It just, they don't feel they can get out of that early game if they don't buy an account. And nowadays, it's kind of reality of the game.
Yeah, because the content is so advanced. I mean, a game like that has to power creep over time. Any gacha game, any progression-based game, it has to power creep. It has to give people a reason to keep playing, which is harder and harder and harder content. Content that utilizes abilities and heroes that, you know, have gone through the radar. Like, it just happens. And so then, I mean, there's a lot of videos about WoW now. You know, playing retail WoW now is so daunting, because there's so much context that you've missed. There's so much mechanics that you don't understand that have built upon each other over time. And every time they try to fix it, they just sort of make the game worse, you know?
Yeah. Well, I've seen so much that through history. Star Wars Galaxies was a big one. Great game. Loved it. Some of the guys from Faithless actually worked on it.
Oh, that's cool.
They decided to... So they introduced the Jedi, right? What it was great.
Nobody could be a Jedi. Like one person or something when the game
was
came out.
Was almost impossible. Like, it was really hard because you had to sit in one place, and at some point within so many days, Obi-Wan would come up to you, the ghost, and then you would start the quest, and then you had to go to place to... But almost impossible to beat. But then, months later, and I had taken a break from the game after that, they changed the system. So now you could just start as a Jedi.
Yeah.
What kind of like... And Jedi wasn't that... was so hard. You had like 20,000 Jedis just run around. So...
Yeah. It didn't make it special anymore.
No. And then the game died.
It's a tough balance too, and you talk about like the time sink that was in ReppelZ, is that what you said? ReppelZ? And I saw like on your old videos, you even had a video at one point about like Anarchy Online. Is Anarchy Online coming back? And all those old MMOs, they were so cool at the time, but they were so much work to progress. So much time.
Anarchy Online was like, I think I spent more time back when the game started, just because you had a way to calculate implants.
Yeah.
So I could put like an army implant that would allow me to put a leg implant of higher level, but then I would remove that army implant, put one higher, because that leg implant allowed me to, so like it would. So it was, but like I feel community was bigger in those games, because we didn't have social media the way we do today. So those games are like hubs Sometimes you just logged in to talk to your friends,
Yep.
you know? So, and the ideas were new. Like, nobody had the recipe. So everybody was trying, let's see if that works. And Anarchy Online, the concept was great. Like, the mechanics were great, but you had to think. You couldn't just jump in and do stuff, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I miss this. I think nowadays some people would think it's too much work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even us who enjoyed it, we just got so much stuff to do that like
Yeah.
you can't play a game for 12 hours a day. That doesn't make any sense, you know.
No. Like ReppelZ was one thing too. Like I used to love it, but I would play for an ungodly amount of hours. But it usually was I would come back from the base and like, okay, now I have nothing to do. I'll just sit down and I'll play. I played the what's that Bungie game?
Halo?
Shooter. No, no.
Oh, Destiny?
Destiny.
Yeah.
I was like on the 3 percentile at a certain point in the game. But then they did some changes when I took a break from the game. I came back. I was like getting killed back and forth. Like when they changed weapons, like shotgun became not a thing.
Quick side note for people who have been keeping up with the podcast, another content creator who played Destiny. It's like every single CC has dabbled in Destiny at a minimum.
Oh yeah, Destiny was great. I feel I left Destiny around the when it became impossible for you to level if you didn't pay. When they did this to where your progression was so slow and you couldn't progress past a certain level. That's when it was a big thing at the time. A lot of people left Destiny. I left. So I still enjoy. Every now and then I would be like, all right, let me reinstall this thing. Let me play. But then a week later, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I reinstalled Civilization 6 last night, and I'm trying to keep myself from playing it because I know that I'm going to burn at least 10 or 20 hours. But like, I was a friend of mine that has kind of grown out of games in his adulthood. The other day, he was asking me, he was like, how many hours a day are you playing games now? And I was like, I don't know, like 2 to 3 hours a day. And like, to me, that's nothing, right? And he was like, I can't believe you waste 2 to 3 hours a day on video games. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not like watching anything. Like right now, we're not watching a series. So like, I know for a fact you sit there on that couch and watch like White Lotus or something like that, 2 hours a night. I'm just not doing that. I'm playing like Arc Knights or something.
But that's the thing. Like, it's good for your mental health too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if for your mental health, playing a game, relaxing, it's a good thing. Do it. Better than going, get wasted, start a fight, because it's much healthier. You know what I mean? I have some people that, like they will say like, "Aren't you too old to play video games?" I'm like, I can afford the games now. When I was a kid, I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my time. You know what I mean? But
It's like it's a weird thought to have, but we might be facing a future where the elderly are the gamers and the kids don't play games anymore. Like it seems like a possibility, and they'll be like, "Oh, that whole generation, all they do is sit there and play games."
Yep. It's like they say, some people are saying now, like, why we never had Gen X presidents? We're playing video games. We're caring about ourselves, okay? Just jump to the next generation. We don't care. Leave us alone. It's safer that way. We grew up with Thunderdomes and the Wolverines. You don't want us to build a Thunderdome.
We'd be pursuing mech technology and
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Monster trucks, All right, so we have a new Humvee plan. Okay, so we're gonna have 20-foot tires. Why do you need that? We'll just drive over things.
Drive over the whole conflict. Well, let's see. So before we wrap up, I do want to dabble in our third topic, which is music. So I'm curious what music you listen to and how music has been involved in your life.
Music being always a big thing for me. I feel like I always express myself a lot with music. Always love punk rock. That now they change to alternative. Well, older punk, like like Sum 41. A lot of those bands, like some of the older bands as well, from like '80s and stuff, that they start renaming as alternative and punk now. It's kind of, I don't understand that much the new punk. It's don't care as much. Well, they do have a few bands, but I also love rock and roll. Mostly like 80s, 90s, some 2000s as well. I love arias because my
Arias?
daughter is actually my daughter. It's opera, arias.
Oh, okay.
My daughter is actually last semester on Ruggers for singing.
Oh, cool.
So I always enjoy it. Not something I'll be gaming, listening to Pavarotti
yeah.
or something. But I do enjoy it.
But it's something you learn to enjoy
Yeah.
because she started singing.
No, I used to love theater, Broadway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I always liked, not something I would listen at home like some people do, but I also appreciate when I was in a place and had an opera. I mean, I grew up during the time of the three tenors,
Interesting.
so it was really big. Like my parents loved it, so I liked it.
Well, with the New York thing, I sometimes forget there are still urban areas, right, where you have access to something that other people don't have access to. So, like the Broadway specifically, but even off Broadway plays, they don't come to every city in the United States,
No.
right? They really only tour the big cities. So, and you rarely see opera outside of a major city.
Opera, even in New York's not that common anymore. They do have every now and then like a big opera going on, and I've been a few because maybe my daughter was involved as well. But Radio City sometimes have. I think opera, it's not as much of a thing. It's more a reserved thing nowadays.
How often would you say that there is one around town?
I guarantee there are probably going to be a couple going on like every week at least. But sometimes they will have like very limited time, not like you have the
run.
opera. Yeah, a long run.
Gotcha. What when you were growing up in Brazil, did you listen to mostly Brazilian music, or did you listen to a lot of American music?
I listen mostly to American. I listen to Brazilian music as well, just not as much. I used to listen to The Boss, Bon Jovi, some, punk bands, because Brazil punk didn't exist much. So any punk bands was from the United States.
Even in the big city?
Yeah, like we got to think like 80s or 90s internet wasn't as broad, so you could have like some big artists you wouldn't hear unless the radio told you, or TV, or something more towards that. They did have the big festivals, Rock in Rio.
Rock in Rio.
Yeah, that brought like they had a few years back with Pink, Madonna.
Oh,
but like early, they had all those big artists coming in, and they would play. It was like they pulled out of nowhere. They decided to make this big, iconic rock concert. and it was like a few days. Yeah.
And I gotta ask, since it was, a big deal to me, did you ever try capoeira?
No, I actually, I did. I dabbled in kung fu for
Oh,
a
okay.
few years, and
Yeah.
judo. Yeah, I always like martial arts, capoeira. When I was growing up, it was kind of different. I had some friends that did, but some people I didn't like much that did in a
Mm,
group that was close by. So I was like, I don't want to get involved with them. So
yeah. Was it kind of shady?
I feel at the time, yeah, some of the people that did capoeira were kind of like, I think it's because it was accessible for everybody. So a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
kids that were more like into gangs,
Yep.
they would do
Hmm.
capoeira. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I actually knew a master of capoeira, that great guy, and he was like, any of his guys, if he found out they're picking fights or getting into gangs or anything, they're out. So you
Wow.
had dues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so it wasn't much of a thing for me, and I did more like Asian martial arts.
Yeah. Well, it's I, I've never really considered it to be terribly effective. It's not a terribly effective style of fighting. There's a couple of times in the MMA where somebody, used like Mealua or something like that
Yeah,
and got a knockout. But otherwise, it's much more of just its own thing, right? And it's really more of a game. But
yeah,
it's interesting to hear you talk about how there was a little bit of a gang and sort of underhanded element to it because throughout its history it's been involved in a lot of stuff, including like people gambling on the sport, right? So
hmm,
I can't remember. There's Makalele, I think is what it's called, with the stick fighting. Is like
uh,
a version, and then there's another one where they put razor blades in between their toes,
oh
and they
yeah,
fight
I
over
heard
a
about
bag
it.
of money.
Oh, I heard about those things, but I never like myself see. Like the town I
Mm,
grew up was where the emperor and the emperor's family used to live. His
emperor.
family still lives in there. So it was
I
kind
don't
of,
think I knew that Brazil had an emperor.
yeah, we did until early 1900s.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was like, some people would say my hometown was kind of posh because we did have like mostly middle class and upper class. Like a lot of people from Rio, like actors and all, would own houses in my hometown. Their, summer house, because it was a lot cooler
Okay.
than down in Rio because it was in the mountains. So yeah, so it's kind of like this, you know,
And when you say a lot cooler, you mean temperature.
temperature.
Yeah.
Well, also was cool. It was really cool, man. We
Cool
had a
to own
Bauer
a
Fest,
house.
but it
Yeah.
was a German fest, so it was fun.
For the people who don't speak Portuguese out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Brazil you don't say Rio, you say Rio, right?
Rio,
Because R's at the beginning of a word are
yeah,
like an H.
H, yeah,
Yeah. So if you want to impress your friends and be cool, call it Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
De Janeiro. There you go.
Well,
Good
it's
correction.
not that hard because you just enunciate like you're supposed to enunciate the letters, like right? Like enunciate is You just speak like enunciating.
It sounds easy.
Sounds piece of cake, man.
Now somebody will come in and correct you, right? They'll be
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're 20
Well,
years removed
you're
from your
not saying
Portuguese."
right. Probably.
All right, on man. Well, thanks again for coming. We appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see how the Godforge content cranks out.
Oh, can't wait. Glad to be here, man. Nice for you to have me.
And thanks everybody for listening. Peace.
Take care, guys.